Hello and welcome to the Presero training series. In this lesson, we will be covering the site basics sections for your individual site settings. This lesson will also cover the explicit consent that relates to the privacy policy for all the site users you make available to them. Also, the reCAPTCHA version 2, that a Google service that protect your website from spam and abuse at a site level. We will begin with by logging into the Presero admin with the master username and the password. Once logged in, we will go to the sites, and this time we are going to take the options from a B2B site as it has some additional options as well. In order to locate the site basics, you go to the site, settings, general tab, scroll down a bit, and you will see site basics. Depending upon the nature or the type of the site, you will see some additional or some more options depending upon the site you have chosen. The very first option is the site type. The site type determines the site functionality and what options are available for your site. This field is informational only and will be set based on the choice you made when you created the site. Site master password. This is a password to be used to log in as an impersonated user for the specific site. Integration ID. If you are integrating this Presero site with a third-party system, you may need to provide a unique ID from that system. You should enter that ID here. Logout URL. Enter the URL the customer should be redirected to upon logging out. If left blank, the customer will be brought back to the login screen. Make sure you add the prefix HTTP or HTTPS for an external URL. CXML listener URL. After your customer complete a purchase, the system can send a summary of the order in the CXML punch-out order message format to the address URL entered here. Please visit www.cxml.org for more information. Product Quick View Text. Quick View is a feature in Presero that allows your customer the ability to see a description of the product they are interested in and also add it to the shopping cart without going to the actual product detail page. Any product enabled for Quick View will have a link in the storefront that the user must click on to display the Quick View area. The text for the link will use the default for the site skin unless you override that here. Please note the product utilizing an eDoc builder cannot be added directly to the cart from the Quick View area. The user will first need to go through the customization process. Let's take a look how this is going to work. As you can see, I need to override the Quick View text on the site for the product as Order Now instead of the Quick View, because by default you will see the Quick View if you do not put anything here. So this is my site. I have some products that has Quick View enabled. Now, the nature and the appearance of the Quick View will be dependent on the site skin you have chosen. So as you can see, the order now is appearing. If I click on it, it will give me a quick view. I can simply select everything and proceed to add to cart. Enable saved for later. Checking this box allows your customer to check out some of the items in their shopping carts and save other items for a later purchase. After this setting is enabled, your client will see 3 links next to each item in their shopping cart: Save for later, edit, and remove. If they click the Save for later link, the item will be moved from the shopping cart to the Save for later page. The item in this area will be saved for 60 days by default. You may also specify the amount of day you would like to hold on to the save for later items, overriding this default settings. Let's see how this is going to work on the site. I'm going to take an example of a product that uses a eDoc builder. So I'm going to quickly add this product, customize it. Instead of adding it to the shopping cart, I'm going to put it on save for later. As you can see, I have three different items in the save for later. This one is the non-eDoc product, whereas A4 and this one, which I have recently added, are the eDoc Builder products. So depending upon whether it is an eDoc product or a non-eDoc product, you will see dedicated options. The very first option is the Add to Cart. It moves the item back to the cart to the purchase it. This prevents user from being able to order item without viewing a final preview and checking the box that says they approve the design. Edit quantity or option. The user should use this button to change the pricing engine options or the quantity for the item. Now in case of eDoc Builder product, you will see some more options like continue design. This button is displayed for the eDoc Builder items only. The user should use this button to continue designing the template or to finalize the order to move it to the cart. Please note, some eDoc Builder template will not be able to edit it after 60 days. One more option is download proof. This button is again displayed for the eDoc Builder items only. It will only appear if the item was added to the Save for Later area from the shopping cart, not from the eDoc customization area. And create proof PDF and display eDoc proof in the cart both should be turned on. And the common option is remove. It deletes the item from the Save for Later without adding it back to the shopping cart. Whenever your user has at least one item that has been added save for later, a message will appear in their shopping cart reminding them that they have item save for later and providing a convenient link to the save for later page. So for example, if I go to the shopping cart, I have nothing added in the shopping cart. However, there is a reminder on the shopping cart screen stating that I have some items, 3 items in the save for later area. I can click on save for later and view my items and add it to the shopping cart. It is highly recommended that you let your customers know what your save for later policy is. When you put item in this area, they will want to know how soon they need to return to complete the order before they lose the work they did. Hence, you can set some instructions to appear at the top of the Save for Later page by going to Admin, Sites, Settings, Instructions, and Save for Later Instructions. Always use site culture. If checked, the culture for this site will always be used for the people browsing the site. Usually, a person's browser language culture setting determines the culture they view it in. You can override their browser setting by checking this box. Culture. The site culture setting dictates currency, weight units, and the language of the email notifications sent by the Presero system for this site. Please note, language, the text you enter in the system such as product name or description are displayed regardless of the culture setting or the user web browse language setting. Web browser localization language setting will localize the text for standard text items. Date and numbers, the user web browser will also dictate how dates and numbers are formatted. Use universal login page. The default way Presero works is that every B2B store would have its own login screen. The login screen will have the customer's logo and the login requirement settings that you decided for them. You may instead prefer to have one login screen for all your B2B storefront and site. If allowed on a site, then the login page for that site will permit users of any of your site to log in from their tier. This may be implemented in two ways. If you check the appropriate box on the site settings, your regular login page becomes universal. The lost password and create account will disappear. Let me show you how this is going to work. If the universal login is enabled for your B2B site, then you will have the option to select other site from the drop down and you can directly reach out to that site by logging in. As you can see, the login screen is disappeared and instead you have a drop down. So from one B2B site, I can reach out to a different B2B site. The second thing you can do is if you add the universal email tag to the HTML content of any content page, that the page will include a universal login form. Let me show you how this is going to work. So if you go to the pages, edit a page, open the HTML and add the tag that is universal underscore login. If you add this, now we are going to launch this page on the site. You will see the login screen will appear accordingly on this specific page. The next option is the broker. For the site, you can also assign the broker from here. Sales Wrap. This option is only available in a B2B site. Your options in the dropdown will be the admin users that you have set up in the preferences. You may associate this site with a salesperson who manage the particular site. This field may be chosen in the report writer when you run reports. Allow self sign up. This option is only available in a B2B site. If you want to allow your customer to self sign up, if you allow self sign up, you will want to also make sure to set a default site group so that the new users are automatically assigned to a specific group. They will not be able to see or order products without being a part of at least one site group. To set the default for new users, you can also edit the new user default at the user level. So from here, if you allow the self sign up group, you can also require the username for the self sign up group. Self sign up approval group. In this field, you will choose the site group that will be given permission to approve or deny those signups. All site users that are part of that group will be notified by the email when an account needs to be approved. If multiple people are given this permission, the first person to approve them will trigger the access to the user and they will be sent an email confirming that they can now log into the site. Boss for the self sign-up users. This option is only available in a B2B site. In a B2B environment, users must log in before entering the site. There are many ways a user can be added to the list of users who have access. One way is for the admin user to manually enter the site user account. Admin users can also upload a database file of the site user account information in the admin area. You can also give the permission for a site user to add other users to the website after they have logged in. Self sign up allow the customer themselves to sign up with a link on the login screen. You have two ways to allow this. One is to allow them sign up and automatically have permission to enter the site and order. The other is to require that a site user who has been given permission to approve signups, that is the boss, to get an email when someone attempts to sign up so that they can give permission or deny access. The password expires in days. This will be the validity for a user to change the password for the site. You can also allow automatically set users to inactive. The next option is the explicit consent. If explicit consent is enabled, All site users will be required to agree to a privacy policy you will make available to them. They will also have the option to opt in or opt out of receiving messages through various communication methods among several other changes in the storefront and admin area. They will also have the option to opt in or opt out of receiving messages through various communication methods among several other changes in the storefront and admin area. Please refer to the documentation for the GDPR security changes for full details. The last option is Enable reCAPTCHA. reCAPTCHA version 2 is a free service from the Google that protects your website from spam and abuse. reCAPTCHA uses an advanced risk analysis engine and adaptive challenges to keep automated software from engaging in abusive activities on your site. It does this while allowing your valid users to pass through with ease. Please note you must have a reCAPTCHA version 2 account with the Google and register the domain you intend to use with this Presero account before enabling reCAPTCHA on your Presero site. If once you have the reCAPTCHA configured at the preferences level, you can assign the reCAPTCHA at the site level. You will need the URLs for your terms of use page, cookie policy, and privacy policy. If enabled, reCAPTCHA will be added to all forms on this site, including account creation. Thank you for watching this video.